Hello everyone, Travis Posey here with HSI Sensing, and I am back with another episode of Behind the Switch. All right, today I have with us Mr. Assad Rabiei. Assad has been with HSI Sensing for quite some time.
Yes.
But Assad, can maybe just start us off with how long have you worked for HSI Sensing?
41 years plus.
Okay. What drew you to HSI Sensing? What brought you to work here?
And a friend of mine, Bob Hayes, he told me Hermetic Switch hiring. When I arrived at the Hermetic Switch, they told me you gotta go see Mrs. Posey.
Oh, yeah.
I said, okay. So I went there and spoke to her. She looked at my transcript, she looked at my resume, and she said, you are overqualified. I said, okay. So very politely, and I got up and I come out of the door, east door, and when I was going out, I saw a gentleman coming in with lots of paperwork under his arm. He said, fella, what you doing here? I said, I was looking for a job. He said, did you got it? I said, no, sir, I did not. He said, okay, come on, follow me. We went in there and we spoke for 1 hour. And after an hour, he hired me. He said, you're hired.
That's awesome.
And that was, and you know the rest of the story.
Been there for 41 years.
41 years, and you know.
Assad, what different departments have you worked in at HSI?
Well, initially, I remember Mr. Posey gave me to a lady named Joanne Thompson.
Yeah.
She was a quality manager. She took me around to different departments and explained to me about reed switches and sealing and electroplating and testing and all that. And after that, I started in electric lab with our own David Posey.
Yeah.
And I was there about 4 years. And then after that, I went to product development.
Okay.
And then I was transferred to engineering department. And I'm still there, part of the engineering department.
You know, you've been kind of a key individual of a lot of the electrical testing that we do in the department.
My primary responsibilities are electrical fundamental data, such as it tells you information about all our reed switches, from sensitivity, pickup, dropout, operate time, release time, capacitance, voltage hold-off, AC, DC, and etc. And that's how you make your catalog.
Can you share maybe 3 or more of some of your favorite memories or stories of working at HSI Sensing or some of the people you've been with?
Yes. 1987, I became a United States citizen.
Okay.
And I remember vividly Mr. and Mrs. Posey celebrate my citizenship. They got the whole plant in a break room and they celebrated with me, cake and punch and everything. I never forget that. That was very generous of them. And that was all about. And from that day after, Mr. Posey, most of the time he called me citizen. Mr. Posey used to, when walk into the plant, he would go around and talk to his employees and ask about them different things, you know, what they want to tell him or whatever. I remember he was telling me, you cannot run a manufacturing from the front office. You have to be there. So he was there all the time in different departments, and he worked harder than anybody else I can recall. This job has been more than a job to me. It turned out to become a big part of my life.
Can you maybe share about that time in the electric lab with the voltage testing?
You know how I feel about Mr. Posey. When I used to work for electric lab, we have high-pot testers. And he come and he said, citizen, I want to look at the electrostatic force under microscope on a 910 switch. What electrostatic force is when you put the high voltage across 2 blades, at one point the switch cannot handle any more voltage, so it start arcing. That's electrostatic force. I didn't know nothing about high voltage. I didn't know anything about anything. it was maybe 2-3 months I started there. So what I did do, I insulate the microscope, just a regular microscope, American Optical, and put the reed switch with the high voltage and start turning it up. Your outlet's got 120. If you get a hold of it, it's gonna make you feel it. So I was going like 200-300 volts, and I was afraid, maybe hurt him. He said, turn it up. I was going little by little, maybe 50, turn it up. I said, okay, so I went up, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 volts. And everything like a Christmas tree. Glow. Oh, gee, turn it down, damn it, turn it down. That was the most funniest.
Well, Assad, thank you for coming on to our episode of Behind the Switch. I always get to enjoy spending some time and visiting with you. You know, 41 years is quite a feat to be here, and you've seen a lot of changes, a lot of updates, and I thank you for being a big part of all of that.